All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and remove this diverter. We'll take the top cap off, and we're gonna loosen up this nut right here. And I always recommend having a pair of vice grips in case that nut is on there tight. You can go ahead and loosen it up. This one's loose, so we'll unscrew that. Take that off and push this down below the counter. We'll go ahead and get this hole cleaned up. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the faucet in. It's gonna sit right there on the counter like this. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go below the counter, put the rubber washer in, silver washer below that. And then we're gonna tighten it up with a locking nut. All right, and then here's a little trick to tighten up the faucet. Now that we have the nut on the underside of the faucet tight, see the faucet won't really move, but it's still loose. You can take the faucet and twist it. Because it has that locking nut on the bottom, it's holding it in place. So we'll just turn it, keep turning it to our desired location. Make sure everything's straight. And now that faucet is nice and secure and it's not gonna move anywhere. We've pushed the air gap diverter under the counter. You can see I've got the top end here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and disconnect this line. This line goes down to the dishwasher, and this one you can see directly goes into the garbage disposal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this Y valve out, connect the two lines together, put a loop in it, and then just direct it directly to the garbage disposal. So go ahead and loosen this nut up. And I always recommend having some kind of container to catch any loose water. Sometimes these lines will be filled up with water still. So go ahead and loosen up that hose clamp. Disconnect the line to the dishwasher. Empty out any extra water. Alright. Got that piece out. And then depending on the hose size, sometimes you'll be able to get this gray piece inside the black hose. If you can't, then you just go ahead and cut this end off and just put the white portion in. Push it into where we know it's nice and secure. And then we'll go ahead and we'll take this hose clamp. We'll tighten it back up. Alrighty. And so for our last step, I mentioned earlier we're going to be putting a loop into this line. And that's to prevent any of the stuff going in the dishwasher or the garbage disposal going down the tube and going into the dishwasher. So if we left this line like this right here, we'd have a problem. So what I recommend is having a couple cable ties ready. So there's different ways you can do this loop. So now that we have both of these hoses connected together, we're gonna go ahead and secure it up under the sink to where it has a loop in the top to prevent that backflow. And then what I like to do is just make sure it's secure. That way the line stays in place. I'm just gonna put a zip tie around here to prevent it moving around when you're putting stuff under the counter. Go ahead and trim up that line. And then we've got that line nice and secure and everything's good. And Everything will flow. If the dishwasher backflows, it'll go right into the garbage disposal. And if you put any food down the garbage disposal, the line going up will prevent any food going into the dishwasher. And so our next step is to go ahead and put together what we've connected to the bottom of the faucet. Very first thing I want to do is line the end of that, line the end of the faucet, the threads, with some plumber's tape. We're going to be connecting this T-valve in right here so that we can then go ahead and connect our line in from the bottom of the faucet. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and disconnect this. And then just for some precaution, we're going to use some more plumber's tape on the connection in there. So I'll take off a piece. Let's prep right there. So we get the Teflon tape on. Everything's nice and good. Take the T-valve. See, this is kind of wobbly, so as we start to tighten the nut up there, get it nice and tight. We'll go ahead and connect the main line to the sink back to the top of the T-valve. Then we're going to take the line from the bottom of the faucet and push it right in the hole. And we've got our faucet connected from the bottom side of the cupboard. So at that point we can go ahead and turn this water back on, and then I'll see you up above the counter where we'll hook up the machine to the faucet. And we've got our water faucet on. That's probably good. Let it soak in there for a few minutes. That hose loosens up. And your hose should be loosened up. So you just go ahead and slide it over. And then with all that done, go ahead and finally turn the water on. Let's see if it comes to life.